chair of the Technology Activity Group at the Union League Club of Chicago. And so the purpose of the group is just to meet people, learn from each other, and have fun. And so throughout this pandemic, sorry about that. Throughout this pandemic, a lot of people have been working from home, and I've been accumulating a bunch of gear over the months, just trying to improve the situation here. At first, it was just people were, having trouble hearing me. It would be really frustrating. And I would have trouble seeing other people because they would be backlit. They'd have window in the back, and then you could hardly see their face. So I thought it would be interesting to have a little bit of a chat about what everyone's doing to improve their video conferencing from home situation. I think it's important because it allows you to engage with your clients and with your coworkers better. You want to be heard, and you want to put your best digital self forward. So let's help each other figure out the best way to do that. So go forward here. As I was shopping around for cameras, I discovered that the best features to have, there's not too many. I mean, you want to make sure that your camera has face detection. What this does is it allows the camera to know which part to focus on and which part to expose for. So in that example where I see people in their office on a Zoom with a window in the background and it's daytime, and you can't even see their face. You just see their outline and it's just bright behind them. If they had a face detection feature on their camera, it would know that, oh, I see eyes and a nose and a mouth here. This is what I should be focusing on. And it would adjust the aperture and to allow enough light on the face, and then maybe blow out the back, but that's okay because what's important is the face. It would also focus in the right place and to get much better communication that way. The other thing that face detection does is it allows the camera to white balance in the right place. It knows that there's you would want your skin color to be normal, but there's no way that the camera is going to know what skin color you have. So that's why the next feature that's good to have is the custom white balance feature. So a lot of the cameras these days have an auto white balance, but you can also set it to fluorescent lighting if you're under fluorescent lighting, or incandescent, or sunlight, or shade. And what it is doing is it's changing the color temperature of white. And so you can adjust that. Now, I'll just do a little example here using my camera here. Let me switch over here to full screen here. So I'm going to change the white balance. You'll see what I mean. So this,
oh yeah,
looking a little bit more orange here, blue. I'm just toggling through all the settings of all the various white balance presets. This is incandescent. I'm not under incandescent light, so I look very blue. The camera doesn't know. So it's best if you are able to tell it what's going on. And some cameras allow you to do that. So that setting looks like this on the camera. Just put a little icon over there to the right. And it allows you to choose. So make sure you pick a camera that has that feature. And then also, to get the most accurate, you want to get a gray card. This is like, I don't know, $5 from Amazon, but it's a reference card. It's this happens to be 18% gray, but it is a true gray, and then it's a reference point for the camera. So now I can point the camera at this, go to my white balance setting, say, okay, this is a neutral color. There's no color in here. It's just black and white. It's gray. And then the camera will take that and say, okay, well, I know that reference point, so then I can reproduce the color of your skin perfectly.
Yeah, can I ask a question?
Yes.
I think these are really cool features. And are these things that you would expect an enthusiast to know? Or are these, I guess, would you expect a novice to know? The reason I asked the question is more to do with my introduction. So I am responsible for how 40,000 employees use technology. And what I love about what you're saying is that it's solidifying something that I'm working on, which is like this best practice for virtual working. And I wonder, is there a way, are you expecting these? How easy is this for somebody to do, I guess?
I think this is a bit advanced.
Yeah, okay.
So I wouldn't expect everyone to be doing this. I think this is for the people who are really more enthusiasts and don't mind digging into the menus of their camera and then and finding these.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what keeps us ahead of the game, right?
Yeah, that's right.
We like to do that stuff. The other thing that some people might want to have in a camera is the skin smoothing feature. So you'll see these a lot of times now, and I've heard that Sony and Canon have done it the longest and they're the best at it, but I haven't really compared across brands. What I can do is show you a demonstration of smoothing on the camera that I'm using, which is a Sony ZV-1. And I'll just go back into this screen here. All right, so I am using the effect right now, but I can turn it off and you can see the difference. This is off. Aaron, I think your mic was making some noise. I just muted you, sorry. All right, so here's the on, and then this camera also has 3 settings on it. So this is like the most aggressive: high, low, and medium. I guess we should go between high and off for the biggest difference. This is on high, off, on high, off. So you can kind of see if it's worthwhile of a feature that you would be looking for. All right. Next, you'll want to make sure that you have a clean HDMI out feature on your camera. And that's so that when you're seeing this, you're just seeing the camera output. You're not seeing all those menus that I was dialing through so that I could set the white balance and set the skin smoothing. You don't want that stuff to show up on your video conference. So if you have clean HDMI out, that will allow the video conferencing to have the picture without all the information on the camera. Oh, let's move on to lighting. So the lighting has improved so much recently. I mean, it used to be you have these incandescent bulbs that were really, really hot and huge, because if you wanted to have soft lighting, you needed a soft box or an umbrella, and which adds a lot of depth. And so it's really hard to get that in front of your desk, especially if you're up against the wall. But these days with LED panels, you get these really, really low profile lights that can be really bright and energy efficient. What you want to look for when you pick these, though, is you want a high CRI rating. What is CRI? It's the color rendering index. That is one number up to 100 that describes how well the light is, how good of a job it does at reproducing colors. So in LED lights, they are much better at producing blues than reds or purples. And reds happen to be pleasing to the eye because it shows life, right? You want people put on lipstick that's red because it shows, and blush, right? And so that red is important in facial features and also in food. So it happens to be. So humans like to see that. And so if you have a high CRI rating, you have a better chance of reproducing the colors of your face better. The other thing that you want to get is the largest light you can get possible. What does it matter if it's a large light or a small light? The larger the light is, the more flattering because it casts less shadows. So imagine, if you would, a pore or just a bump on the skin or something. If you have a tiny point of light, it's going to cast a shadow, and then that'll make that feature a little bit more prominent. Now, if you have a huge light, you're going to be hitting that from all angles, and so basically washing out the shadows. And so by doing that, you could get more flattering pictures. So larger lights are better. Also, if you have two, it allows you to set the ratio between the two. Now, what happens to be pleasing to people is a 3-to-1 ratio. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's close to the golden ratio, and that's just something that's a ratio that's happens throughout nature so much, and it's something that we are drawn towards. But I'm going to show you some examples of lighting ratios. So here's a 2-to-1 ratio. So you can tell on this model that the left and the right side are pretty much even in terms of the light falling on her face. If I change this to a 3-to-1, this is the one that people seem to like. Of course, it's up to your own preference. If we go to 5-to-1, that becomes more dramatic. And then if you go even further to 8-to-1, this probably I wouldn't recommend for video conferences unless you are acting out a Shakespearean play or something like that and needing a lot of drama. But that's what the ratios do. The other type of lighting, continuous lighting out there these days is the ring light. You might have seen these. They're really popular these days. And here's a picture of it. The ring light allows you to put the camera right in the middle. And so remember what I was saying about washing out shadows? This is the ultimate shadow washer because there's so much light falling on all sides of your face that, and with the camera right in the middle, it really takes away the shadows. And a lot of people think that's more flattering. It also creates a very dramatic catch light. And catch light is the reflection that you have in your eye. So here's an example. You see the model's eyes. They look. You see the ring of light that's reflecting the lighting, and it's just very striking. Questions about lighting? All right, let's talk about audio. This is what really got me started in the first place. The audio I was using was the Apple AirPods at the beginning of the work from home time, and it was a lot of times people were just wondering, I can't. They're saying that they couldn't hear me very well. I'm like, well, these are like Apple products. They're awesome, right? And I mean, they should be really good. And then I did some research. So what I found out, wired versus wireless, it makes a big difference. Just like Ethernet gives you really fast speeds versus Wi-Fi, not as fast. Same thing with these Bluetooth headsets, especially if you're using them for video conferencing, because half of that bandwidth goes to you talking, and then the other half goes for the sound coming in. So you're basically halving the amount of bandwidth when you're using it to both the speaker, the headphone, and the microphone. So the other thing about the AirPods was the location. When they're hanging off your ear, they're kind of far from your mouth, and you're talking this way. The sound is just not quite there. And so they do all sorts of tricks to try, in algorithms in programming, to try to compensate for that. But you can't really get around physics, right? So the sound drops off at a rate of inverse square. So which is to say it drops off very fast. So you want to be as close to the source as possible. And the other thing is you want to maximize your signal to noise ratio. A lot of people use the microphone that's right on their laptop. Well, their laptop probably has a fan that's running and creating noise there. Well, the microphone's really close to that fan and is far from you. And so your noise ratio is higher and your signal is lower. So you want to try to get that microphone away from the noise and then as close to your mouth as possible. Now I'll do a little demonstration here. I'm going to change my audio to the AirPods here. Okay, so now I am, oh, I got to turn off the other mic. All right, so this is the sound coming from the AirPods. I don't know if you can tell a difference. To me, I just hear my voice, but to other people on the other side, they were not as pleased with this sound.
It's definitely more murky, but what it does do is it cancels out a lot more of that background.
I can't actually hear you very well, Aaron. And actually, you're proving the point of why.
Yeah. So how about now? Is this any better?
Far better.
Okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, so the nice microphone I was using, the wire ripped out, and so I have to replace that. That's why I'm using these horrible headphones. But what I was saying is, Jeff, I can hear you. You're more murky now with your AirPods, but the background sound, the background noise is actually subdued significantly. So I think that whatever technology they're using to reduce that also reduces your voice quality, the sharpness of your voice.
Right, that makes a lot of sense. And sorry about that background noise. I've closed the door. My wife is taking a conference call.
No, and it's not even bad back. It's just like the typical room noise.
Okay. All right, so this is the AirPod. I'm going to switch now to this is a wired headset. It was less than 20 bucks from Amazon. I got it for my son, my 6-year-old, so he could video conference at school. And I got a cheap one because I didn't think that would last very long or it would get lost or something like that. So I don't know how this sounds, but what do you guys think? Is it better than the AirPods?
Yes. Yes, it is.
And so this is like less than 20 bucks. The AirPods are like almost 200 bucks. And it's because we have this boom mic here. It makes it puts physics on our side here. And so it doesn't have to work very hard to get the signal. And then all the noise is far away, so it doesn't pick that up as much. Okay, the last one is the one I was using at the beginning of this meeting. I'll switch over now. All right, this is the Rode Wireless Go. It is a wireless mic. I don't know. Some people think the headset looks a little bit dorky. I think it's fine, but I wanted to go with a wireless solution because a lot of times I'm on a long call, and I need to be making lunch at the same time, and so I need to go stir a pot or something, or take something out of the oven, or whatever. The kids need something, and so I'd like to be able to get around without losing the call. So this device here, let me change here. The Rode Wireless Go. It's really, really tiny. And this is the transmitter part. There's another half of this that looks just like this, but it's the receiver. And you can clip it to yourself, or you can connect a microphone to it, and then you can clip this on your belt and then have a little lavalier mic or a ear-worn mic. But for me, I like to put on this little stand here. It's got a hot shoe. Now this becomes my mic, and I just leave it on my desk. And then if I need to take it with me, I do. I don't know how the sound compares to the wired, but this is, it's supposed to be better.
Sound is superior. And how much was that, Jeff?
It does sound better, John?
Yeah. How much did it cost?
This was $200. And they're in short supply. They're hard to find. They keep on selling out.
Yeah. So
It's
it's more
actually quite similar. Oh, sorry.
Please go ahead.
I was actually going to say it's quite similar to what you would expect when people speak at a conference, right? It reminds me of like that microphone, and it's probably why the technology is so good.
Yeah, and it's only a microphone, so all that bandwidth that it's using is for your voice. All right. So this is one of the fun gadgets I got. The other fun gadgets I got over these last few months, the Elgato Camlink. This thing is there we go. It's an HDMI to USB adapter. And so what it allows you to do is to use a really nice camera, one that you might have anyway. For example, a DSLR with a nice lens. If you've got one sitting around, you might as well use it to enhance your video conferencing instead of using a tiny little webcam that's built into your laptop or something. So this is about $120, and it takes your HDMI out from your camera, and then has a USB on the other end, which you plug into your computer, and then your computer just thinks it's a camera. When you go to Zoom or Google Meets or whatever video conferencing software you're using, it'll think that Camlink is a camera, which you have a camera connected on the other end of it, and then you can select that. But make sure you have clean HDMI out if you're going to go with that solution. The other thing that I had fun with is the Blackmagic ATEM Mini, and there's a picture of it here. I can't show you it because it's in action right now, and it's on a very short cord. So what it does is it takes 4 HDMI inputs and allows you to switch between them. And so one input I have right now is for my computer, and so I'm showing this PowerPoint slide. And then another input right now is my camera, so I can mix them together. And on top of that, I have a green background behind me, and I've keyed that out. So I told the Blackmagic ATEM Mini, hey, this is the green that I want to subtract, and I want that to be transparent so that I can have this, I can engage with my, the people I'm talking to. They don't have to, I can make my hand motions while I'm showing my slides. This might be a good way for you to connect with your customers and your coworkers. It also allows me to put in lower thirds. So for example, if I wanted to make myself look professional or something, I might say, hey, here's Jeffrey Chen from Ginkgo Consulting LLC. It's like what you see on TV, right? And you can do all sorts of things. You can animate these things. There's a whole bunch of things that you can do once you have these inputs and these masks and keys. It also lets you do picture in picture, kind of like what I'm doing here. So I just got it recently. It's fun to play with, but you can see so far what you can do with it, and it's been kind of nice. The other toy, yes.
Oh, sorry, may I ask? This Glide Gear teleprompter is really cool, and I know it works with Zoom, but how does it work with other collaborative platforms, for example, like Microsoft Teams? I'm even thinking with some of the productions we do within the company, we do like Teams live events, and that could be another way to like professionalize it.
Right. I have not actually used the Glide Gear with anything other than Zoom. This is what it looks like. It's it basically allows you to put your iPad here, put your camera back here,
Okay.
and then you hide the light here with this cloth. And then over here, you have the reflection of the iPad,
Right.
what's being displayed, come up
Smart.
here. But your camera is behind this two-way mirror. It's actually like a 70-30 split on what's on the reflection versus what's going through. And so your camera gets you looking right at the camera while you're being able to read.
Wow.
This is like $200. And so what I wanted to do with this was to put my video conference on the iPad so that I can look into the eyes of the person I'm talking to. And I miss that a lot. And that connection it's important, I think. It really matters. And so being able to engage with people is something that I was trying to do with this. I haven't had as much time to play with this one, but that's the concept I was going for. I haven't quite proven it out yet, but
I'd be keen to understand how that works for you, because I'm exploring how you keep that human connection, although we're in virtual spaces. I'd be keen to discuss that further with you, actually. Let me know the outcome of your experiment.
For sure. Yep. Now I'll be with some extra pressure. I'll get to that, be a little bit faster. Yep. So that's it. That's all I had to share with you.